Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another of my PlayStation 4 reviews. So I am focusing my attention, certainly over the last few weeks, on playing games that I haven't reviewed before. Now, I've chosen to do a review on one of my favourite open world games, and that is Sleeping Dogs. Now, this is a game that was initially released on last generation consoles. On the PlayStation 3 I initially played and completed this. And then very early on in this console generation's lifespan, it got a remaster, and it was re-released on the PlayStation 4 as the definitive edition, and that is this version that I am reviewing, the PlayStation 4 version. Now, I personally think this is one of the best, most underrated open world games that I personally have ever played, and I'm staggered that it never ever got a sequel, because it is just, I think, an incredible game. It is wonderful to play, and if you've never played Sleeping Dogs, essentially what this game is, it's based in Hong Kong, and you play essentially a character called Wei, who is an undercover cop who has spent a lot of time in America, even though he grew up on the streets of Hong Kong. He grew up with the gangs, and he moved to America, spent a lot of years there, trained up as a police officer, and he's come back to his home turf to take down the triad gangs that he grew up with and were essentially responsible for the death of his sister. So he goes deep undercover into these triad gangs, the Sun On Yee more specifically, to gain their trust and eventually bring them down from the inside. And that's essentially the basic story here. Now, personally, I think this is one of the best narratives I've ever had in an open world game. There've been few I personally think better than this, and I'm thinking of things like Witcher 3, brilliant obviously story, Red Dead Redemption 2, brilliant story, great narratives, but this one was fantastic. I think where this game absolutely succeeded, it drew you into this world because it felt alive and it felt vibrant and it felt like there was so much care and attention put into this world, and then the story was so good as well. It really draws you in and you really get drawn into these characters, and as Wei struggles with his own conscience as he's going through this game, so do you, and I think this game does that brilliantly. It's a really fantastic. It's almost like it's like one of the mafia games really, but it's set in Hong Kong and it's the triad gangs. And I personally think it's done brilliantly, and because they do it from the perspective of a police officer, it works even better, because not only do you get to do missions in this game as the triad gang member, to rise up in those ranks and gain more trust with the triads, but you also get to do undercover missions for the police as well, to help them with their undercover investigations. So there's a wide variety of missions here, and you're not just restricted to one pathway, if you like. And the mission structures basically consist of, so you've got your triad missions, and they can consist of anything from enforcing, getting money off people, and they start quite low level. You're collecting money for the early missions, and then you might be told to go and make an example of this person, and then as the game progresses and your character progresses, it becomes more trusted. He then is given far more responsibility in the triad gang, the Sun On Yee, and he becomes like a high-ranked member, or pretty much. And the missions become more complex as it goes on. So you've got the triad missions, which are brilliant, and like I say, then you've got the cop-based missions. So you then go and help out an undercover, a police officer, and offer to help her with her investigations. So you will do those missions as well. And then there are other missions as well, the things called favours or face missions. So these could be just random things on the street. It could be delivering a package for somebody, it could be helping out a triad gang member take revenge on somebody, it could be tapping into devices, it could be any number of things, quite varied. And then you will gain face points as well. So you've got triad missions that will get you points in the triad in that section. Then you've got the cop missions, and then you've got your favours. So all of these contribute to you leveling up in those sections, and they've each got their own dedicated skill tree, which is really good. The cop things allow you to upgrade things like slow-mo and sliding across bonnets of cars and gunplay, things like that. The triad missions will usually let you upgrade other areas, and there's other things as well that you can do. I mean, the exploration in this game is so good. Because there's things that you can find out there. You can find money caches, which you will need to buy clothes, buy vehicles, all that kind of stuff. But also there's things like health shrines, and there's also other things like jade statues. Now if you find these jade statues, you can take them to your old sensei, and he will teach you some more new martial art tricks and moves and things. So you can upgrade every aspect. You can upgrade your martial arts skills, your combat skills, your shooting skills, your driving skills. There's a whole array of things you can upgrade in this game by completing all these separate missions. So there's always a multitude of things for you to do in this game, and you never ever feel bored. I personally have never felt bored playing this game. I played and completed this the first time on PlayStation 3. I've played and completed it on PlayStation 4 since it's been released, and I've downloaded it a few days ago, and I'm probably about, I don't know, 15 hours into my third playthrough of this game. And there's not many games out there that will bring me back over and over again, and I think that is a testament to how good this game is, and how well made this game is. It just feels so alive, and the Hong Kong setting makes it feel different and original and new. And it's just wonderful, because like I say, you get to feel really badass as a triad member and an undercover cop, and most of all as a martial artist. Now the worst aspects of this game, which is probably not what you're going to want to hear in an open world game, is actually the shooting and the driving. They aren't very good. But the aspect of the game that works spectacularly well is the martial arts, the unarmed combat. It's so simply done, but it works so brilliantly. You feel like Bruce Lee. I mean, the character even looks like Bruce Lee. You can even buy costumes to make you look like Bruce Lee. It's like being in a Bruce Lee Hong Kong movie that's been made by America or something with this big budget. It is that good, and I promise you that you don't want to use weapons in this game unless you have to. In some scenarios you have to, in some missions, but the majority of the time you're not going to want to, because you're going to want to use your martial arts skills. So it's always keeping you busy in this game. You can hack surveillance cameras to keep an eye on local gangs, and then you can go back to your apartment, watch the CCTV footage, and if you see someone making a drug deal, you can have them arrested again, which will help upgrade you. And there's a lot of open world games out there that will make you explore for no real reason. You know, go and collect this collectible. Well, why? Well, in this game it works slightly different. Like I say, you've got your health shrines. Now if you find a health shrine, you can pray to them, and then you'll upgrade your health a little bit at a time. And once you find the majority of these health shrines, you are almost indestructible. You're like this badass martial artist that's almost untouchable, and it's just brilliant. So it's worth seeking out these health shrines. Same with the jade statues. You want to find these because you can take them back to your old sensei, and he will teach you a new martial arts skill. Same with the money caches. You find one and you get more money, so you can buy more cars and clothes. There's always a purpose to the things in this game that you are seeking out. There's so many other things to do in this game as well. I could go on literally all day. There's like martial arts clubs, it's like underground fight clubs, and each one's more difficult than the last. And I mean literally you go through rounds, so you start off with one fighter, then 2, 3, and then by the time you get to the end of the round in the martial art, you could be facing up to about 10 fighters at once. but the counter system in this game is so good and the martial art works so well. You're taking on 10 guys at once, and you just feel so incredible playing this game. So from my perspective, it's a wonderful open world game, and again, I repeat, I'm staggered it never ever got a sequel. I suspect it was budgetary reasons, it was Square Enix, all this kind of stuff. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it definitely deserved one. I mean, it's got a Hollywood cast list here. I mean, I'll give you some of the names of the voice casts in this game. You've got Kelly Hu, James Hong, Lucy Liu, Tom Wilkinson, Emma Stone. They didn't really spare any expense when they made this game. They really went for it, and it really shows and pays off in this game. I personally think it is an incredible game, and now this game, the definitive edition on PlayStation 4, will be so cheap and easy to pick up. It's a no-brainer to buy and play this game, and you'll play it and you'll think, why aren't all open world games as good as this? Yes, you won't like some of the driving, it's not brilliant. Yes, the gunplay is not brilliant, but you don't mind because everything else is so on point. The definitive edition comes with the DLC, so you get like these extra add-ons. So you get the Nightmare at North Point and the Year of the Snake. They're nothing really, to be honest, to write home about, and you can have them completed in a couple of hours each, sort of thing. They aren't brilliant, but this game itself, I personally think, is a masterpiece. It's one of my favourite all-time games, certainly one of my favourite open world games. It's a stone cold 9 out of 10 for me. Yes, there's flaws, there's a couple of bugs here and there. It's an old game that was remastered, but it's a good remaster. It plays really smoothly, and it is definitely one of the best on the market. So that is my review for Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. For me, guys, if you've never played it, it's a no-brainer. Get it bought. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, everybody.
You're dead! Look, I'm not afraid of